How much time? 30? 30 seconds? I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Run.
What?
Good evening. Sorry, a bit of a problem with YouTube Studio there. The playback screen was totally green, but I have resolved that now. So off we go. Welcome to the live stream. This is the Brews at 10. On my left eye, I'm your host Lefty. You might be wondering what's going on. It's not Wednesday, not a wet your whistle Wednesday, but we will be doing PMQs. I was incorrectly informed that last week's was the final one before the break. Alas not. Although in total honesty, I did personally neglect to check the House of Commons schedule. So it's tonight. We're going to have Keith's Catchphrases. Let's brew this thing. More to come as well. Please make sure you've hit thumbs up on the stream as you join us. Mobius, MIDI Doctors and Guitar Guy. Great to see you in the chat. Thanks for your recent comments as well on content and such. Good to catch you live as well, Guitar Guy, without as many pesky adverts. Yes, we are going to be addressing that. Apologies. Thanks for the feedback though, Guitar Guy. Really do appreciate that. If anybody else has been overwhelmed with too many ads, if you're watching back later on to one of the live streams, we're going to try and tone that down a bit. Yeah, because I know what it's like when you're trying to get into a stream or a longer YouTube video, perhaps a documentary style one. But they're every maybe 90 seconds in some cases. Sorry to hear about the bout of insomnia there, guitar guy, but as you say, there are pros to the cons. You can catch us live. That's great stuff. Yes, just a few ways that you can help to support this stream. Share us around social media, if you will, or some of our recent videos. Once again, that is a massive way to support the channel. Just the click of a button. Give us a follow whilst you're there. We're at MyLefty UK. Blue Sky, Twitter and Mastodon for the social media. I do have a little more energy than I had last night. We got through that event. The rage, the outrage kept me going though, I think. But it has perpetuated. The House of Commons session that we'll be watching today did of course come yesterday, so I'm expecting some hyperbole from both sides. Once again, I haven't seen Prime Minister's questions, as have I never, prior to real-time reaction. Not real-time, like when it happened, that was like 11 o'clock yesterday morning. You know what I mean? You're with it, people. You're down with it.
Can you dig it?
You're getting odd subscribers only message on posting every other post. Try and make, yeah, there's a few strange things going on in YouTube town at the moment. Right, just let me pull up the new members list. This is fresh. Hot off the press, this list. One moment. Still ironing a few glitches here as we go. You might experience a few seconds of buffering or so. It's making its mind up. It's still making its mind up. I think it's back. You've been having problems all week, MIDI Doctors. Well, here we are, having a few problems of our own. But before the next one kicks in, let's make sure that we've said thanks to the members. He says, it doesn't want to pull up the members video. Just try something here.
You're a total bloody shambles. You're a total.
All right, Rimmer. I'm sorting it. Okay. Two ticks. Oh yes, the new page format as well. Yeah. That's been kind of a bummer this week as well. This is worrying that it doesn't want to play the members' video. Something else can try. Let's just do a bit of live experimentation here on the stream. So if I do that, put it there. No, it doesn't want to do it. Okay. We might have to forego the members scroll, which is disappointing. I'm not going to read out all of the 98 names instead. I'll work on that. Try and give you a shout out at the end. Apologies, people, but thanks a lot for your support. Yes, 98 on the way to 250, we hope. And other ways you can support the stream: super chats if you're watching live, super thanks if you're watching back later on, and there's a buy me a coffee page in the description of the stream. Please do check that out. Oh, thank you very much to those of you who bought coffees recently as well, including this week. That's been very generous of you. Solidari-Tea or Solidari-Coffee, however you like to stay caffeinated in the late evening. Yeah, I did actually uninstall, reinstall the software just the other day. But we'll definitely work on that. Okay. Let's move on. I'm going to start with the comedy clip. I do have a comedy clip, which I didn't have yesterday. But it's quite a lengthy one, so I'd like to know if you want to watch it all in one go, or perhaps watch it in two segments, in two halves, roughly halves. State your preference in the chat, please, people. It's approximately 10 minutes long in total, just so you know. But it's very good and definitely worth watching, so... Graham, thanks for joining us in the chat. Doing a live technical experiments at the moment. Solidari-Tea, Viva Viva Palestina. Globalise the enchilada. Gerbilise the enchilada. Let's try and work on some sort of poster for that. God knows how horrendous that's going to look. I don't think a gerbil would go for an enchilada. A vegetarian one. No. Getting lost in thought thinking of that. Let me know in the chat your preference about the comedy clip, as well as whether you think a gerbil would enjoy a delicious enchilada. We're asking the important questions this evening here on the Brews at 10 on My Left Eye. We're coming for you, Starmer.
Oh God!
Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Once it gets to about halfway, we'll collectively decide if we'll watch it through to the end. And make it very democratic as well, of course. This is very good. It's an extended Room Next Door from Michael Spicer. Recent Trump press conference where he was appearing in front of McDonald's executives. What a pack of fucking ghouls. And then proceeded to barely talk about McDonald's or even fast food, apart from a fleeting mention of hamburgers here and there, I believe, but went off on all sorts of geopolitical tangents as he does. Tangents sounds a little like tangerine, which is, of course, a rough description of his complexion. No, but this is really good from Michael Spicer, who I'm glad has actually been putting out a lot more content recently. He sort of went quiet for a little bit, and I'm definitely glad that this feature, The Room Next Door, is back also. There's a link in the description if you want to go and check out his page, or the video again. Links to both towards the bottom of the channel description. And do subscribe to Mr. Michael Spicer if you don't already. So here it is.
I'm honored to stand before you as the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States.
Oh, you're talking about that PR stunt that you did during the election where you flipped a burger for a nanosecond and then pissed off.
But I want to thank, as you know, the famous Sundar and Sergey.
Who? What?
These are two guys that own and run
Why are you talking about Google?
a place called Google. They called me the following day after I did that McDonald's little skit.
No, they didn't. What?
And they told me that, and I didn't know them. I said, who are they? They own Google. I said, that's pretty good.
That didn't happen. That's not true. That's a lie.
And that it received more hits than anything else in the history of Google, and that records, it still stands.
Okay, first of all, Google does not get hits. You're thinking of YouTube. And second of all, your appearance at McDonald's did not break any internet records, okay? It was just a stupid PR stunt that was forgotten as soon as it was over. You know, there are webcams of bird tables that get more views than you.
But as you may have heard, I'm also
Sexual predator?
one of your all-time most loyal customers.
Not sure if that's worse, really.
I think that's good. I'm pretty sure that's good.
Not really, not when you consider how unhealthy their food is, how badly they treat their staff, their environmental impact, their ties to Israel, and their pesticide residue-covered French fries. But, you know, it's a free country. Well, parts of yours are.
On Trump Force One,
Trump.
BDS.
It's almost like you've got an ego or something.
we served only McDonald's almost every time.
Maybe it should be called Trump Force Fed. Look, why don't you start reading my speech? Because
And I even got Bobby Kennedy to eat a Big Mac.
Why don't you start reading what I've written? That'd be good, wouldn't
You
it?
carry on the commitment to what Ray Kroc said he wanted from every McDonald's restaurant. Perfection. Have you heard that?
If that's the case, why does every quarter pounder look like you sat on it?
So to each and every one of you, thank you and congratulations on 70 years.
Okay, all right, wrap it up.
And you know, I just might add,
No, don't add anything. Be quiet.
this is also the golden age of America because
Oh, no, here we go.
prices are coming down and all of that stuff.
Energy prices have risen 2.8% and food prices are 3.1% higher than they were last year.
We're the highest, think of it, the highest inflation in the history of our country.
Not true. It's been much higher.
48 years, it was the history of our country.
America is 48 years old, is it? All right, okay, well, that's news to me. I mean, that would explain why it's having a crisis.
Last weekend they announced that Thanksgiving this year is 25% less.
No, it's not. It's only 5%.
That's a big statement.
No, it's a big lie.
We have over $17 trillion being invested in our country in 9 months.
The White House says it's $8 trillion, and most of that is vague pledges. No one's actually seen this money yet, but, you know, keep saying completely made-up numbers, because who cares in this room full of hamburglers?
Just like I said, why is the Gulf of Mexico called the Gulf of Mexico?
What? Why are you talking about this now? Honestly, why can you never stay on topic? It's like your brain is just a stack of cheese singles at this point.
We have 92% of the shoreline. They have 8%.
No, Mexico has just over 50%, so that's a lie.
You know, it's tremendous prestige for our country, and that's good for McDonald's, and that's good for everybody else.
How is renaming the Gulf of Mexico good for McDonald's? Perhaps if you renamed it the Gulf of McCrispy, then that might have...
You know, I did a garbage truck also, right?
What?
And everybody, and I thought, when I spoke with Sergey and Sundar, I said...
Oh, God, not again.
Yeah, but the garbage truck was equal, wasn't it? They said, not even a kind. Garbage truck was great.
What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about?
It was an amazing thing. I thought the garbage...
Will you drink some water? It's disgusting listening to your voice. You make RFK Jr. sound like a nightingale.
We're making tremendous progress. 1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today.
Not even remotely true. Over this year, long-term unemployment has increased by 385,000.
Nobody thought that was possible.
It isn't.
But in 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off a food stamp, and that's a record.
No, you're kicking 3 million people off food stamps when they desperately need them. That's slightly different.
The world was laughing at it.
Okay, he just doesn't do numbers. We're a bit over halfway through now, people. Should we just play it through to the end? Considering it's coming up to halfway, we got to carry on. Just carry on for a bit longer. I am enjoying this.
It's like we were stupid people. They're not laughing anymore. Remember when I first took over eggs?
Oh, will you stop it with the eggs?
And by the time we got to Easter, the price of eggs had fallen precipitously.
Wrong. In March 2025, egg prices had reached a record high average of $6.23 per dozen.
We know what we're doing. I mean, we know what we're doing. We rebuilt our military.
Garbage trucks, eggs, military. There's never a cohesive point to anything you say, is there? It's like the presidential equivalent of post-it notes around a computer monitor.
We have the greatest military anywhere in the world.
Yes, as you demonstrated so beautifully with that parade of one tank with a squeaky wheel.
Then you saw that with the way we took out the nuclear capability of Iran with those...
Yeah, and this new weapon that they've sent to Ukraine keeps killing people during tests and making them ill through vibrations and other such things. But it killed someone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great stuff. What a bunch of horse shit, man.
Gorgeous B-2 bombers, they flew in there.
Oh, no, here we go.
I was watching this from the Situation Room.
Oh, man, I cannot listen to him telling this story about the Iran strike again. It's like listening to a potty uncle with a mouthful of porridge trying to remember the plot to Independence Day.
And they said, sir, they have entered Iran airspace. All of a sudden you see much faster. Then you see him going down at the whole thing was crazy. I actually said, do people really want to do that for a living? They're waiting for it.
Well, it's time for a brew with Brews at 10 and Michael Spicer now. Take a couple of sips myself. And, it's still going on, yeah. Yeah, go. As well, hit the like button. Make sure you've hit the like button whilst we wait. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, people. I'm enjoying that Brews are being put into more comedy content. I certainly approve of this. Excellent stuff from Michael Spicer. Genius. There's a good procedure as well. Good procedure.
And you know, more speed for the bombs. It's very, very heavy bombs. And as soon as those things, the one pilot, the first one said, skedaddle, and that thing just turned in its side. And it's so unbelievable. And that knocked out Iran nuclear capability, and
it didn't knock it out, it just set it back by a few months.
All of the Middle East became a different place.
The Middle East became a different place. What is it now, Denmark?
And now we have peace in the Middle East. And 400
Palestinians have been killed by Israel since the ceasefire. But
it's over 1,000 actually. But yeah, it's a totally different place. It's a veritable paradise, really. And it's all because of the great godlike miracle worker and his ceasefire proposals. Yeah.
Apart from that hiccup.
At the United Nations today, they approved the Board of Peace, which is I'm going to chair.
You as chair of the Board of Peace. Honestly, it's like putting a hornet in charge of a relaxation spa.
Our energy prices are way down.
Household electricity prices have increased by 13%.
Having gasoline at $4.75 a gallon and $4.50, $3.50, $3.75.
You might want to mention hamburgers again. A lot of these Ronald McDonald's are falling asleep.
And you know, despite hamburgers being a big business, energy is one business that's bigger.
That'll do.
In the past 6 months, the price of breakfast items has fallen 14%.
Nope. Coffee and orange juice have both risen. What, do you not have that in the mornings with your bowl of Red Starburst and milk?
And you know, we got rid of the drip water.
Oh, not the drip water again, please.
We call it the drip.
Who calls it the drip?
Where drip drips out of the sink.
It drips out of the tap, not the sink. But, you know, no one knows what you're talking about, so who cares?
States with tremendous water, so much water
You've been on this drip horse for about 10 years now, and every time you fail to explain what you're talking about. You just say drip over and over again and make lots of tap noises.
They had restrictions on water.
Is it literal or figurative? Is he talking about water, the supply of water, or is he describing economics, the trickle-down economics? We don't know. It's difficult to know because he changes direction even multiple times within the same sentence. Fucking hell.
It comes down from heaven, right?
No, it doesn't. No.
So you want to wash your hands?
Oh, please don't mind. Everything you do with your hands is disgusting. Put them away.
I was with some of the people that make them. Whirlpool and others, and they said, sir, they won't give us the water to use in our dishwashers or use in our washing machines.
No record of anyone at Whirlpool ever saying that to you.
Good stuff in the chat as well. Yeah, Trump and what she called the adult film star. There was that thing, wasn't there? The bribe. And just slightly related, Bonnie Blue apparently has been in the news. She's an adult film star, apparently has joined Reform. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'll have to try and dig it out.
Washing machines have no water. I mean, it's like...
Did he have a red t-shirt on before? Michael Spicer? I'm not sure. We'll go back and check at the end if there's a possible continuity error. Be forgiven for it, of course. This is quality content, people.
Glass of water, half a glass of water.
No washing machine can function on half a glass of water, you croaky Big Mac sex pest.
Biden came back with a rigged election.
Stormy Daniels. That was the name.
Just a small defamation, but never mind. And let's move on from rigged election.
I'm just going to go back and... Didn't pay attention for the last few seconds because I was like, what's the bloody name? Oh yeah, I remember now.
No washing machine can function on half a glass of water, you croaky Big Mac sex pest.
Biden came back with a rigged election.
Just a small defamation, but never mind. And let's move on from rigged elections, shall we? Given that the only reason you're here a second time is because some Nazi billionaire wanted you to tickle his weirdly shaped tummy.
So now you have unlimited water to clean your damn dishes, okay?
They're applauding water.
And other things. Your hands. Didn't you hate that?
No.
Where the water turns off there. You press the thing, which you hate to do. You know, your hands. You don't like to press. So you get the towel.
He's just got germophobia, perhaps. Which I'm not mocking anyone who does have germophobia, but that's a bit of a revelation. Or, you know, a rich person's thing. The same way that... it's not a comparison. Trump isn't royalty like he likes to believe he is, but King Charles, for example, not picking things up or moving them himself, just pointing at them, and some equerry lackey comes and does, like, moves the thing or whatever. It's the same thing. And he's like, could someone come in here and switch this tap on for me? The fucking faucet. Can you switch the faucet on? Motherfucker.
You press it.
Look, I know you want to be a comedian, but the problem with you doing observational material is that the things that you say have to have happened to more than one person.
You get like 4 drops of water. Tell me, do we really get rich with that?
It's got nothing to do with getting rich, burger face. It's about water conservation. Honestly, we could have Mayor McCheese up here and he'd make more sense.
In 2019, when we hosted that great Clemson Tigers at the White House. I literally brought dozens of quarter pounders from McDonald's.
Not all of them. 3/4 of their black players didn't attend because, you know, you're a fascist. But please do carry on with these McDonald's anecdotes because, honestly, I cannot get enough. What happened next? Did someone tread a gherkin into the carpet?
Because no matter who you are, everyone loves something at McDonald's. There's always something to have. I like the fish.
There's always something to have. Like, I don't eat at McDonald's, that's probably no shock to you people, but you go in, I'm obviously aware of the procedure, but yeah, they have self-serve now as well before anyone points that out. But let's say you were to go to the counter for counter service and you're not on the drive-through. We've run out, is the response. There's always something there. Welcome to McDonald's. Sorry, we've run out of everything. And it's not just the McFlurry machine is broken again. It's the whole lot. Nothing. Not a morsel. You go in, there's always something.
Okay.
The American dream, a word that...
3 words.
2 words that you didn't have.
3 words.
It's all about 3 words. The American dream.
That's it.
So together we're going to make America richer, stronger, prouder, and happier than ever before.
All right, Daft Punk, just get off the stage, will you?
Thank you.
Daft Punk. Do you get it? There's back a few seconds. Just the list of adjectives.
That's it.
So together we're going to make America richer, stronger, prouder, and happier than
Richer, stronger, prouder, happier.
Ever before.
All right, Daft Punk, just get off the stage, will you?
Thank you.
Thank you, all 7 of you clapping. Yeah, get off the stage. Get the fuck out of here. What do you make of that, people? Both the performance from Trump, great stuff from Michael Spicer, go and subscribe. Yes, it wasn't lack of continuity, as for the feedback. It was part of the story. He had a red jacket on and then removed it to go and make himself a hot, tasty beverage, which we certainly approve of here on the Brews at 10 Solidari-Tea. You know, those who voted for him have to own that. They have a lot to answer for, I believe. Perhaps we could introduce legislation that if you vote for someone who turns out to be a fascist 3 times in a row, then you lose the right to vote. How's about that for a hot take, people? No, I'm jesting. The Shouty Bloke, thanks for joining us. I don't speak, is that Russian or Ukrainian or some Eastern European dialect? Apologies. Can't make that one out. Apart from the fries, they are still poor. But of course they gave free meals to the IDF, didn't they? So that's why they're part of the boycott, divest and sanction movements, BDS people. Excellent from Michael Spicer. So quite a lengthy comedy clip. Let's get straight into Keith's catchphrases, people. Yes, prepare yourselves. Okay. This is not obviously just for tolerating watching Starmer and Badenoch having a conversation together. Just from a personal perspective, if you'll allow me a moment to share this with you, of course, I still do have the postman twat syndrome. that is anytime, deliver, isn't one of the contestants on Keith's Catchphrases, I still have the inherent urge to hit the bell in some kind of strange Pavlovian reaction, so we'll see how I do, and we'll see how Badenoch and Starmer do. Right. Let's brew this thing.
Oh no.
We now come to Prime Minister's questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Deliver. Black hole. Plan for change. 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 Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, this has been doing my head in for about 3 weeks now. Just one moment, people. I was going to resize this. I'll do it later, though. Bear with, making a minor adjustment here. Midi doctors, you think Sir Lindsay Hoyle is a traitor to the British people? From Charlie, Lancashire. Yeah. I'm certainly no fan of Sir Lindsay Hoyle, as regular viewers will know. See how many times he crops up in this session. Right, people, I just need a few seconds of your kind patience just to make a technical adjustment, and then we'll proceed. Thank you for your patience there. Okay, anyone who doesn't already know the rules, just quickly fly through these. Basically, we set two phrases or words against one another, we keep a running score, and that's the way it works, but there's a few added rules and caveats. So, the phrases or words have to be spoken by Starmer himself. Obviously, it's Keith's Catchphrases. Second of all, the format is winner stays on. So last week was a victory for Plan, who will have a challenger this time around. Rule number 3, variations, slight variations or changes are allowed. I'll judge each one as we go. For example, past tenses, pluralisation, so on and so forth. If it's close enough, it gets a point. And should it end up winning, it gets 3 points. If it's a draw, then 1 point and no points for a loss. The season will last until summer break next year, or Keir Starmer resigns. So it's a ticking clock, really. And these are the current standings in the league. Postman Twat still sitting at the top of the table with 10 points. Not participating this week, was in a draw actually 2 weeks ago. Budget, who lost last week, is in second with 7. Last week's win has earned Plan a third place position with 3 points. 1 point for that aforementioned draw for change, and then 0 points for every contender below that. But as we go into the second half, you can see everybody else on 0. And we're going to have new debutants for the first time in the league. You can see they're currently in 8th, having not played yet. We're going to have security. I thought, what with the gerbalize, the enchilada thing, that that might come up. So perhaps that gives it a good chance. I always try and give contenders and challengers a decent chance, depending on what's happened in the news recently. Well, just to remind you, this is a first time watch for me. I've not seen any of this, if I'm being perfectly frank. I've been far too busy all week, to be honest. So that's the current standings. Everybody savvy? Sweet. Let's get down to business. And plug it in the other one then. See if that works. See? Works. Just leave the technical stuff to me. Alright, on we go. On we go. Just need to get through this. There's a few minutes of... There he is. The preceding session. Looks as though that's himself about to start. So, take it away, Lindsay. You dickhead.
To Prime Minister's questions, Melanie Ward.
Question number 1, please, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the anti-Semitic terror attack
Oh,
on
straight
Bondi
in there.
Beach.
Oh, straight in there. It's like Bibby phoned him up right before PMQs began. You better get straight in there and mention this at the first opportunity in the House of Commons today. This is priority number 1. Look at Yvette Cooper. Extra concerned face. Glaring over at the Tories for some reason, as though they're not both in the same boat where Zionism's concerned. Is this what we're to expect throughout the whole session? Gerbalize the enchilada, that's all I've got to say. This is pathetic, hyperbolic. I can't overstate how worried I am about this. In fact, after PMQs, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my feelings from the aftermath of this in the last couple of days, where it looks like we might be likely to be heading as well, is what is the main thing to be worried about. But take it away, Keith. You lost for words for just what an utter sham of a bastard you are. You fucking misery.
It was sickening. It has had a profound impact around the world, including on Jewish communities here in the United Kingdom. These incidents are not isolated. We think of the appalling attack at Heaton Park earlier this year, and these incidents are chillingly focused on some of the holiest days in the Jewish calendar. Mr. Speaker, I've been in touch over the last few days with the Community Security Trust, the Home Office and the Chief Rabbi about security for Hanukkah
and another
here in the United Kingdom.
2.
Last night,
See,
we
I
held
can
a
pick a
Hanukkah
good
reception
challenger, people.
in Downing Street, where I reaffirmed our fight
Have a double
against
ding.
the poison of anti-Semitism. We will use all of our powers to make sure Jewish communities are safe and secure, as they should be.
2-0
Mr.
already.
Speaker, may I also take this opportunity to wish you, all the staff in Parliament, every member and their families across the House, a very happy Christmas. And a little festive advice to those in reform. If mysterious men from the East appear bearing gifts, this time report it to the police. Mr. Speaker, this morning
What was that supposed to mean? If men from the East come bearing gifts this time, report it to the police. What, referring to Russia? Or is he... I can't believe he's just... Oh, it's so twisted and messed up. I'm totally with you there, guitar guy. I share your frustration. How can a peaceful march on the other side of the world lead to this? And obviously, the chants that are the issue here, there's no record of them being uttered by either of these awful assassins who killed 15 people. And Keith throws this in as a gag. Just so messed up. Where's Bethlehem, Keith?
Meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Reward.
I'm quite disappointed, people. It appeared that Carla Denyer was actually joining in with the merriment there. That's a former leader of the Green Party, Carla Denyer. And is she in... Is it one of the Brighton or Bristol seats? Forgive me. Can't remember exactly where. I think she was, anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, it's frozen. It's frozen. What's going on? They're all listening to hyper-caffeinated happy hardcore. I will resolve this immediately. Give me a moment, people. It does have somewhat of a comedy element to it, though. Don't worry, don't adjust your spectacles for anybody. But if they're working properly, the people are well, gyrating, not gyrating, shaking, whatever. Let's sort this out. 2 seconds.
Meetings later today.
Reward.
Looks like we're back.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I associate myself with the Prime Minister's condemnation of the horrific attacks in Australia. We must be clear that anti-Semitic terrorism is always an outrage.
Yes, but there's no connection to marches in London and Manchester and this phrase. Now have to be careful about what phrases we utter and chants in the United Kingdom. It's appalling. And we talk about peaceful things, not hate chants or hate marches. The lack of... just the performance, because they really can't be that dense. But I guess they're just corrupt and biased because of the lobbies and whatnot, of course. But are some of them genuinely that thick?
Mr. Speaker, at Christmas time, many across our country will be thinking of Bethlehem, where the situation remains extremely difficult.
I just was a moment ago.
The government's important scheme for students from Gaza with scholarships to study in the UK expires on the 31st of December, but a number of scholarship holders and their children have not yet been permitted to leave Gaza. If this scheme closes, these brilliant Palestinians will lose their university places and we will lose their talent. Will the Prime Minister extend the UK's existing scheme into next year to prevent this from happening?
Prime Minister.
Yeah, I'm going to be paying particular attention to Keith's response on this one. Prior to the obvious escalation in the genocide and annexation post-October 7th, a very large proportion of Palestine had degrees. They were one of the best educated countries in the world, one of the highest literacy rates in the world. Most people went into further education. As I said, they get degrees, diplomas, the equivalents of. That is, very learned, well-read people, and they want to... The fact that they obviously can still have the ambition to learn is incredible, as well as the fact that we've obviously got to allow as many of these students in as possible, because it is already an absolute insult, but it'd be a further insult to Palestine if we didn't. And he's going to try and sell that he's with Palestinians with his response here, I can imagine, but this is going to be pure bullshit.
Can I thank her? And I know that Gazan students face huge challenges in taking up their places, and we're considering solutions for those yet to arrive. But I do want to be clear, I want them to be able to take up their places and continue their education in the United Kingdom.
But aren't they the what's going on? Aren't they the enchilada? Aren't they the bad people? And whatnot? Is that not... You don't seem to be able to make your mind up, Keith. This is quite extraordinary, if you don't mind my saying so. Just where I've paused it there. I don't know if you've noticed, I just have. I've comedically given David Lammy a shrunken Keith for a head. Quite bizarre.
I'm proud we've also created the medical evacuation scheme for children from Gaza, and last week I met some of those who've been brought to the United Kingdom for specialist treatment in the NHS.
Yeah, did you tell them about your mate Netanyahu? Tell them about how you're not imposing sanctions or full trade embargoes. Tell them about the spy runs, Keith. Tell them about Labour Friends of Israel. Tell them, wear your heart on your sleeve, at least that you are a Zionist without qualification. Is that what came up in the conversation? Well, people say two-tier, Keith, in terms of police sentencing and other police issues, but two-tier sympathy, I think, you can definitely say is a thing. What a complete fucking hypocrite.
Can we continue to focus on aid into Gaza? And I'll make sure my honourable friend is kept updated.
Focus? What, you going to send in the fucking Navy? And just get out the fucking way. We are bringing this through. We're the British Navy. We're backed by a bunch of other people, bunch of other countries. Not the United States, they won't get in on that. Possibly EU countries. Certainly those that recognise Palestine as a state, I'd imagine. Spain, etc. But that's not a priority. Certainly not a priority. Priority seems to be spying on them at the behest of Zionist Israel. This is shameful. Shameful display. Crocodile tears, I guess, is the only thing you can describe this as.
On the next steps for students.
Leader of the opposition, Kemi Beno.
Mr. Speaker, can I thank the Prime Minister for his words on anti-Semitism? What happened at Bondi...
Get your tablets ready, people. Just align that. That's been annoying me as well. Okay. Off she goes.
Beach was an atrocity. But words of solidarity are not enough. We know the evil we face.
No.
Islamic extremism is a threat to Western civilization. It abuses our democracies and subverts our institutions. It is incompatible with British values. So it is not enough just to protect Jewish communities. We must drive Islamic extremism out of this country.
Don't worry, it's not a microphone fault, people. I am again aghast, almost lost for words. Let me just this one through. Bondi Beach could not possibly be further away. It is almost exactly completely on the opposite side of the world from here. Yes, extremism of any kind, including apparently Islamic extremism. According to reports that they trained in such camps in the Philippines, but halfway around the world, and we shit our pants, do we? Is that strong and stable? What happened to David Cameron and we won't be cowed by this and that, and start, you know, you're the Conservative Party, for goodness sake, aren't you? Are you that snowflakey now? But this all matches with the defence spending drive. I guess they're going with that as well. Oh, considering what happened in Australia and other places. So not only is Zionism trying to run with this, but the whole industrial military complex itself, I think, is going to absolutely try and milk this dry. Well, we've got to protect ourselves against the new bad guys now. They're the same as the old bad guys, but worse. Please don't look back through history or certain bits of information or files, because you might inadvertently find out that some of the good guys used to actually financially support and back and train these people. Don't do that. What we should do, though, people, collectively, is give a shout out to James Holmes, celebrating 11 months of membership. Thank you very much. It's been great to have you for that incredible amount of time. I guess the channel's only been live streaming for about 18 months or so. Coming up to 2 years, I think. Though the channel is just over 2 years old. It started off as a very little side project. It's been great to have people like James Holmes with us along the way. Thanks again, James.
Mr. Speaker, I would also like to send my best wishes to our armed forces, to the emergency services and to everyone who will be working over Christmas. And I would also like to take this opportunity to wish you, Mr. Speaker, the House staff and all members of this House, including the Prime Minister, a very Merry Christmas. Mr. Speaker, it is the Prime Minister's second Christmas in Downing Street, and by his own admission, he's not in control. He says nothing happens when he pulls the levers. Does he blame himself or the levers?
Mr. Speaker, I'll just set out what we've achieved this week, Mr. Speaker. We're setting out our violence against women and girls strategy tomorrow. That is me specialist support.
Well, I don't know. Jess Phillips is the arbiter of this particular campaign. I don't have such high hopes for it. Yes, this is an issue that has to be dealt with. But I pointed out before, while promises such as reducing XYZ by 50% in this case, or increasing something else, whatever it might be, these arbitrary numbers that they pull out without, describing the pathway, in this case, it's apparently going to be that they're going to put the onus on kids. So they're going to be inundating boys, and boys who are still at primary school, 11-year-olds, with what they think, to strengthen anti-misogyny as a concept and misogynistic awareness, I think is the right way to put it. But it's not that. That's not where the main problem is, because that's all that they've mentioned so far. It's not 11-year-olds who are trolling women online and doing horrible things and spreading other parts of misogyny, Keith. So if that's what he and Jess Phillips are going to go for, I don't think it's got much of a shout.
For abuse victims and the 999 calls.
Oh, but no, it doesn't. I'm just making a quick adjustment again. Sorry about this, people. It will improve. I have my absolute promise on that. Sorry about that, people. I want to re-upload. I've just got to find the right place. I think we're about here.
Strategy tomorrow. That is me specialist support for abuse victims and the 999 calls experts.
Sorry, Prime Minister. I expect better
something's
from you.
going on.
Ex-serving officer, we expect the standards of a good office. Prime Minister.
The next lever was 500 jobs protected at Grangemouth.
Don't know what that was all about.
Partnering with INEOS to safeguard the plant's future.
Pardon? Just guard the future jobs. discarding.
For abuse victims and the 999 calls experts.
Prime Minister. Mr. Deputy, I expect better from you. Ex-serving officer, we expect the standards of a good officer. Prime Minister.
The next lever was 500 jobs protected at Grangemouth. Partnering with INEOS to safeguard the plant's future. Next lever was Erasmus scheme, which is being announced later on today from January 2027. I got the next lever, Mr. Speaker, the employment rights bill.
Oh, no.
The biggest uplift in workers' rights in a generation. I've got a whole more list, Mr. Speaker. I could go on for a very long time.
Not sure exactly what that had to do with the question, Mr. Speaker. The fact is, the Prime Minister promised economic growth, but the only thing that's grown is his list of broken promises. He promised to reduce unemployment, but yesterday, unemployment hit its highest level since the pandemic. It has gone up every single month since he came into office. Why is that?
Mr. Speaker, the facts are these. Today from January 2027. I got the next lever, Mr. Speaker, the employment rights bill became law, the biggest uplift in workers' rights in a generation. I've got a whole more list, Mr. Speaker. I could go on for a very long time.
Not sure exactly what that had to do with the question, Mr. Speaker. The fact is, the Prime Minister
this year, we got the lowest
is his list of broken promises. He promised to reduce unemployment, but yesterday, unemployment hit its highest level since the pandemic. It has gone up every single month since he came into office. Why is that?
Mr. Speaker,
because he's a neoliberal like you.
350,000 people, more people in work this year. We've got the lowest inactivity rate for 5 years. We are.
Do you know these tits, Errol?
I know a lot of tits, Governor, but I don't know any quite as stupid as these two.
Taking a number of measures to address this, particularly with the young unemployed. I would remind them that under their watch, unemployment averaged 5.4%, higher than it is today.
You two.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what planet the Prime Minister is living on, but unemployment has gone up every single month under him. Youth unemployment, record levels. Graduate recruitment, lowest ever. He promised that he wouldn't increase taxes on working people, but he has. Last year, he increased national insurance. Last month, he froze income tax thresholds. So will the Prime Minister finally be honest and admit he broke his promise on tax?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud that in the budget we had record investment into our public services.
Just about 6 times last week
we
as well.
stabilised the economy and we bore down on the cost of living. They voted against all those measures. But, Mr. Speaker, it is the season of goodwill. Let me congratulate the leader of the opposition. She's broken her own record since last week. Last week, 21 former Tory MPs had walked away to reform. She's broken that record because this week it's gone to 22. The former Vice Chair has now gone. So the question is...
Speaking of Vice, there's that porn star as well. Yeah, it's good.
Who's next? Now...
One sec.
He should know.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister is talking about non-entities. As he looked at his cabinet, a bunch of turkeys, they could fit right in a Burton Matthews factory. And he is one to talk. Last week, his MPs were calling him a caretaker Prime Minister. After what he's done to the economy, they should be calling him the Undertaker Prime Minister.
That's coming from the caretaker leader of the Conservative Party. She doesn't even know it.
That he would help pubs. Yet they face a 15% rise in business rates because of his budget. Will the Prime Minister be honest and admit his taxes are forcing pubs to close?
Prime Minister, she knows very well that the temporary relief that was put in place during COVID has come to an end. That was the scheme they put in place. We supported it, but it was always a temporary scheme coming to an end. We've now put in place a £4 billion transitional relief. We've also taken other measures, creating hospitality zones, greater licensing freedoms and tackling late payments. We're also bearing down on the cost of living, Mr Speaker, so more people enjoy a drink or a meal out, freezing rail fares, freezing prescription charges, £150 off energy bills, driving wages up. What did they do in relation to each of those, Mr Speaker? They voted against each and every one of those measures.
Mr Speaker, what pubs has he been speaking to? They've been barred from all of them. And let's look at another broken promise. I don't know why they're shaking their heads. It's not my fault they've got nowhere to drown their sorrows. Let's look at another broken promise. He promised to end the doctors' strike. He gave the doctors a 28.9% pay rise. What did he get in return? This morning, they've gone back on strike for the third time. In the middle of winter, in the middle of the worst flu crisis in years. Mr Speaker, this shouldn't be allowed. We already banned strikes by the police and the army. Why doesn't he put patients first, show some backbone and ban doctors' strikes?
Mr Speaker, let me be clear about the strikes. They're dangerous and utterly irresponsible. And my message to resident doctors is don't abandon patients, work with us to improve conditions and rebuild the NHS. But, Mr Speaker,
it's just so disgusting to hear from the Labour leader.
On its knees, waiting lists through the roof and confidence absolutely rock bottom. And, Mr Speaker, I take no lectures from them on industrial harmony. More days were lost to strike action on their watch than any year since the 1980s.
Mr Speaker, of course he's not going to ban doctor strikes. He doesn't have the baubles. The trade unions didn't just buy him. They can shake their head.
There we go. I think Badenoch's bad joke might have broken the streaming software there.
Them on industrial harmony. More days were lost to strike action on their watch than any year since the 1980s.
Mr Speaker, of course he's not going to ban doctor strikes. He doesn't have the baubles. The trade unions didn't just buy him. They can shake their heads. They can shake their heads all they like. We all know who's running their party, and it's not him. The trade unions didn't just buy him for Christmas, they bought him for life. And this matters for all those people out there facing a difficult new year. The Prime Minister has lost control. It's not the levers that don't work, it's him. He's breaking every promise he has made. He promised to bring down unemployment. It's up. He promised he wouldn't increase taxes. They're up. He promised to end the doctor's strike. They're on strike again. Mr Speaker, he said his main mission was economic growth, but the economy is shrinking.
No long list.
With a year like that, is it any surprise that all his MPs want for Christmas is a new leader?
Mr Speaker, we've got the Muppets Christmas Carol here. The defections are happening so fast that at Christmas the leader of the opposition...
No, there's like on both sides people are paid. They cram themselves into rooms. What fucking festive puns can we come up with in this absolute cacophony of nonsense?
Is going to be left home alone.
Oh,
and the member for Runcorn is clearly dreaming of a white Christmas.
I am dying here. I am dying. This is awful. This is absolute toilet.
Pathetic!
Jesus Christ, is it going to get any worse? Let's dive back in. Oh, Rick's frozen now. Just saw this. Sorry about these minor technical issues, people. I'm definitely blaming the jokes.
Wage. Please push hundreds of thousands of kids back into poverty and scrap maternity leave. Merry Christmas from the Tories. Mr. Speaker, what we're bringing is cheaper mortgages, new rights for workers, and lifting 500,000 people out of poverty. We've achieved more in 14 months than they achieved in 14 miserable years.
I think he meant to say poverty there, but it came out as property.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ukraine is
Breaking
facing
news.
the fourth Christmas of war and loss. A Ukrainian family I met last week spoke movingly of the help and support that they had received from our community in Newport, but also of the real pain of separation from loved ones still in Ukraine serving near the front line. Will the Prime Minister join me in paying tribute to the bravery of these families and those that support them? And can he also take this opportunity for them in giving the House an update on what more we can do from this government to support our Ukrainian friends?
Prime Minister.
Well, can I heartily agree with her? British families have shown incredible kindness and hospitality.
Yeah, they're getting a shitload of our tax monies
with our allies on frozen Russian
to keep this going,
to support Ukrainians in their hour of need. Today, Mr. Speaker, I can announce that we're issuing a licence to transfer £2.5 billion from the sale of Chelsea Football Club. That's been frozen, those funds.
That was the thing, this Roman Abramovich, of course, the former owner.
Is this: the clock is ticking. Honour the commitment that you made and pay up now. And if you don't, we're prepared to go to court so every penny reaches those whose lives have been torn apart by Putin's illegal war.
Sir Ed Davey, leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Then why didn't you approve of that ceasefire deal
everyone in the whole House and the whole country
ages ago?
A merry and peaceful Christmas. And can I join the Prime Minister in expressing our horror at the appalling anti-Semitic terror attacks on Bondi Beach on the first day of Hanukkah?
Yes, of course, it's an appropriated festival. It was originally a pagan holiday.
In this senseless act of violence, and our thoughts with the whole Jewish community. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure we've all heard British Jews explain how they no longer feel safe in this country.
Well,
many of us have friends who volunteer.
Ed Davies going to get in on it now as well.
And stand guard outside their
He's
synagogue.
frozen a bit. It's gone a bit
and
wobbly.
At Heaton Park in October, we saw why. Anti-Semitism is real. It is a comprehensive government strategy to tackle anti-Semitism. So will the Prime Minister commit to that today and set out what concrete steps he's taking to make sure Jewish people are safe in Britain?
Prime Minister.
They are. Even the incident in Manchester was an outlying, very rare case. As awful and tragic as it was, this hyperbolic nonsense again over the implication that this is prevalence, that this is now a major factor within our society, just isn't statistically true. It really isn't, and that's not to take anything away from what happened at Bondi Beach or at the synagogue attack in Manchester, but this is clear political opportunism from the Zionists and their influence.
Well, can I thank him for raising this really important issue, and it is really important that we have actions that match the words that we have expressed in response to these horrific attacks. The actions we've taken so far are increasing the funding for Jewish security up to £28 million. I'm pleased to do that, but I'm sad to do that. having to pay more money to provide security for people.
Well, actually, in Manchester, I can say this much. The security around a lot of the schools in areas with higher Jewish populations, such as Prestwich, is massively high already. It was before the attack. Do have to say that. I'm not being biased in that. That's just a fact. In terms of guards outside, etc., you'll find that obviously, just for general security reasons, most schools have lock gates and so on and so forth. But we're talking about multiple security staff at and around the gate. Is already very high, and I think to imply that previously they weren't protected or whatever, I think is again hyperbolic, if I'm being perfectly honest. And of course, one of the victims of the synagogue attack here in Manchester was one of the security guards, wasn't it? So first of all, it goes to show the bravery that happened on that day, and also that security guard prevented probably other people from being harmed or possibly killed. So that's as heroic as things get. But he was there, and he did have an impact. I'm not certain what proposals he's going to make is what I'm getting at, because I could suggest something, but it'd be tongue in cheek, you know. Gun turrets on the top of schools, whatnot. This specifically talking about the Manchester attack. It happened by a member of the public. It was carried out by a member of the public on a public road. It began with him using his vehicle as a weapon, of course, before he got out and proceeded to injure and kill many other people. But what can they do? What can they do? I think all it's going to amount to is administrative trimming around the edges. And you proper hardcore Zios, especially this week, have been demanding that something be done, and using phrases like action, not words, and all these kind of things. But what can be done? They aren't specifically saying anything. Obviously, the chance of coming to this now, but specifically around school security, I don't really see what more can be done apart from what do you want? Army patrols up and down every street in North Manchester? Is it just going to get ridiculous? I don't know. But that's just a few of the thoughts I have about it. Of course, that was a tragic incident. Once again, condolences and sentiments of bravery for that brave security guard.
To be at their place of worship and to go to school is a sad thing for this country to have to do.
Of deputies, I think, can work across this House to end the scourge of anti-Semitism. The Speaker, turning to the NHS.
Sorry for the buffering.
Even before today's irresponsible strike by the resident
Again,
doctors,
sorry.
patients were facing a terrible winter crisis. Thousands have been left on trolleys in hospital corridors for hours. No privacy, no dignity.
Sorry, people. I'm going to skip back a moment because I think I might have missed another security in Keith's response there. Whilst I was on my little monologue, sorry.
Speaker, I'm sure we've all heard British Jews explain how they no longer feel deputies have called for a comprehensive government
tax. The actions we've taken so far are increasing the funding for Jewish security up to £28 million. I'm pleased to do that, but I'm sad to do that. Having to pay more money and to provide security for people to be at their place of worship and to go to school is a sad thing for this country to have.
4-0 now.
I've ordered a review of protest and hate crime laws to stop
extending the lead,
breeding hatred.
New challenger.
We're looking at new police powers to deal with repeat and targeted protests, and we've launched a review and training to tackle anti-Semitism in the NHS. There are other steps that we are talking to the community about taking, but all of those actions have already started.
I've not heard anything about this being prevalent in the NHS either. It's kind of 2019 election shilling combined with all the recent crap on the mainstream media. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. This is absolute horseshit. It's like premium grade A manure, the size of the spuds and other root vegetables you could grow from this fantastic manure that's been expressed here by Starmer is beyond measure and belief, beyond, way, way beyond. What can you say? It's shameful. It's shameful. I just can't get beyond the utter shame that these words, this remit, I guess you have to say, is being done in all our names. And let's not forget the strawberries, of course, Doc. Thanks for reminding me.
Red Davy.
Okay, back to Davy.
Thank the Prime Minister for that answer, and I hope he will look at the
Mr. Speaker, and Merry Christmas to you and all your fantastic staff.
Sorry if you missed the last part of the question, though, a bit of buffering.
Prime Minister, 2025 has been a momentous year for Darlington, Britain's best town, but there is much more to do. I met a lovely woman outdoor knocking recently, and she works 12-hour night shifts at a care home in the town. Her colleagues are on minimum wage, and many care workers across the town aren't even paid time and a half for working on Christmas Day. Like so many in her profession, she wants the system fixed, not for herself, but for her residents. I believe that starts with radical improvements to care workers' terms and conditions. Prime Minister, this workforce of mostly women do essential, skilled and exhausting work without fuss, fanfare and still without fair pay. They deserve better. What can I tell the Darlington care workers will improve for them by this time next year at Christmas?
Minister. Can I thank her? Carers are incredibly skilled workers. My sister is one of them, and I'm very proud of them and her for their invaluable work. I'm pleased that we've increased the carers' allowance earnings limit by the largest amount since it was introduced, and we're providing £500 million to fund the first ever fair pay agreement through the Employment Rights Act, which was passed yesterday to make sure care workers are properly recognised and rewarded.
Stephen Flynn.
It's the season of goodwill, so with that in mind, I don't intend, it is indeed the season of goodwill, so with that in mind, I don't intend on asking the Prime Minister about his broken promises on energy bills, 1,000 jobs being lost in the North Sea, the fact that Peter Mandelson is still a member of the House of Lords. I won't even ask him about the chaos that is engulfing the Labour Party, his budget and indeed his own leadership. No, Mr. Speaker, I simply want to wish the Prime Minister Happy Christmas. How does he intend on spending his final one in Downing Street?
Prime Minister.
I'm going to get an update from the Chancellor on Grangemouth in just a minute. He's clearly not interested in Grangemouth. You would have thought on a day like this
every 5
that he'd want
minutes.
to welcome the £120 million of investment into groundwork.
No, it's gone again.
Can't even bring himself to mention it. Mr. Speaker, that's on top of the Typhoon defence jobs in Edinburgh and shipbuilding jobs on the Clyde. And after decades of SNP rule, they're totally out of ideas. They can't even welcome the Grangemouth news. Scotland deserves change next year with Anna Sawa.
No chance. They're going to get wiped out in Scotland. Totally wiped out.
In 2020, my constituents, John and Karen Rowlands, lost their son Andrew in a road collision. He was just 18 years old and a passenger. Like too many others, Mr. Speaker, the driver of the car should never have been on the road. He was underage, unlicensed and uninsured and bought the car on social media using cash. Can the Prime Minister tell me how bereaved families like the Rowlands can have a meaningful say on our road safety strategy and ensure the right checks are in place to prevent future tragedies?
Prime Minister.
Can I send, I'm sure, condolences of the whole House to Andrew's family. It's an awful case, and every life that's lost to dangerous driving is a tragedy. In terms of the range of measures that we're taking to protect young drivers, they include penalties for driving uninsured and unlicensed, and measures to reduce the risks posed by unroadworthy vehicles. And in terms of influence of her and her constituents, I'll be very happy to set up an appropriate meeting for her constituents.
Ben Maguire.
So that's already a thing.
Lost to dangerous driving is a tragedy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Prime Minister for confirming a Cornwall-only devolution deal since my last PMQ. In 1988, over 20,000 North Cornwall constituents were poisoned by the South West Water Authority. In a recent BBC documentary, strong suggestions were made of a cover-up by the Thatcher government. None of those victims have ever been properly compensated, and today South West Water poison my constituents with impunity with their constant sewage dumping. Christmas swims across Cornwall have been cancelled again, while constituents like William Howes in Padstow have been hospitalised.
Well, everything's as full of
Will the
proper
Prime Minister
stars.
please meet with me to finally deliver justice to all water poisoning victims and make sure this never happens again?
Prime Minister.
Well, it is right to remind us of what was a terrible scandal, and I will ask the Water Minister to meet him and his constituents to discuss it. He and the public are right to be furious that companies are still polluting our seas, lakes and rivers. Mr. Speaker, we've taken action banning bonuses for bosses in 6 polluting companies, changing the law so that those who hide sewage bills can be locked up, and issuing almost £30 million in fines to clean up waterways. We're clearing up the mess that the party over there left, like everything else.
Claudia Bounce.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The West Midlands car industry is well famous, and this government backs our automotive sector. We got a US trade deal, and when criminals shut down production at Jaguar Land Rover, we back the supply chain. Brilliant companies like JH Lavender in my constituency. What a contrast with the member for Clapton, not here as usual, who said, "I predict Jaguar will now go bust," and they deserve to. Would the Prime Minister agree with me that the workers of the West Midlands and the entire country need a Labour government and can't afford the economic vandalism of Reform UK?
Very loud planted question there.
Apparently the leader of Reform's in the lounge. I know he likes to
probably hear it from there,
only
though.
get away at Christmas to get to his place in France. But Mr. Speaker, he lobbied for economic sanctions against his own country when he was in the United States, with no thought for British workers and zero patriotism.
But he wouldn't be there either.
The difference is our US deal secured the best deal for the car industry, providing certainty for the workforce at JLR. And there's more good news, Mr. Speaker, for the car industry this week, because Nissan is now building its new electric Leaf in Sunderland. That's the difference a Labour government makes.
Sir Julian Smith.
Compliment the Prime Minister on the work he's done on Ukraine and wish him well over Christmas on that topic. Mr. Speaker, pubs are at the centre of rural communities in areas such as North Yorkshire.
Yeah, stock it is rehearsed,
They are
badly
under
rehearsed.
more pressure
The Oscar
than
goes
ever
elsewhere.
before.
no doubt.
Could I urge the Prime Minister and the Government to look again at the rates issue and to look at how to relax the transitional relief for those pubs, many of which are otherwise going to close?
Prime Minister. Mr Speaker, it is an important sector. At the heart of this challenge is the end of the temporary relief that was put in place during COVID, and that's why we put in place the transitional measures. And investing £500,000 into a hospitality support scheme to help rural pubs.
Did he say
diversify.
£500,000?
On issues like the cost of living, we've taken a number of measures to make it easier for people to go out and enjoy themselves in pubs, and we'll always look at what measures we can put in place to support pubs.
It's Manchester. It's like £6-7 quid a
People
pint.
across Lichfield, Burntwood and the villages will be looking forward to a very happy new year, not least because of this government's commitment to the Midland Rail Hub project, which will revolutionise rail travel across the West Midlands and further afield. We are all really eager to see a better service between Lichfield and Birmingham as soon as possible, though. So will the Prime Minister join my campaign for a more regular service on the cross-city line? And can he confirm that rail commuters will benefit from frozen fares because of this Labour government?
Confirm that you're a pretty shitty actor.
Well, Mr Speaker, the hub
like
means
everybody
more regular
else in there.
services for up to 15 stations across the region. That's vital after the Lichfield to Birmingham service was slashed under the previous government. The construction will create around 13,000 jobs, and we're delivering them as quickly as possible with Network Rail awarding design contracts this week. Mr Speaker, we're also freezing rail fares. That's the first time that that's happened in 30 years, saving his constituents about £90 a year on the commute to Birmingham.
Andrew Snell.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. As the ghost of Christmas past scoops up the Prime Minister from his slumber in number 10 this year, I wonder what he will show him on Christmas.
How does freezing prices slash them by however much a year? They'll remain the same, surely. That's what price freezes are about by definition. Quite odd.
Eve. Maybe it would be the devastated family farmer putting up the for sale sign on the yard, or the children hugging each other as their independent school closes, or any of the 100,000 hospitality workers who have lost their jobs, or the millions of families that are trying to work out how they will pay their tax bill to fund the ever-growing welfare state. So is it no wonder that the ghost of Christmas future has given up on this Prime Minister?
Word up to Kevin Logan, viewers just joining us now on the raid. Very warm welcome. Shout out to Kevin, thanks a lot for the raid. Solidarity. Please hit thumbs up as you join us, people. We're just going over. We're towards the end of PMQs at the moment.
Put in a bid, Mr Speaker. I filled it
You're
in.
very welcome here.
I assume
Good
he
evening.
missed the question, I assume. I said he should ask about the 6,000 well-paid, high-skilled jobs we've secured in his constituency, building typhoons. Thanks for an £8 billion deal with Turkey. I'm disappointed that he didn't want to talk about good, well-paid jobs in his constituency secured by this Labour government.
Secured. I'm going to allow secured.
Mr Speaker, just days
For
before
5-0.
Christmas, heartbroken Derbyshire families and staff
Close
learned
enough.
that the Reform-led council are closing 8 care homes.
Security is the exact phrase for those of you just joining us. It's plan at the top, not scored yet,
And that comes just days after
security
learning
on
that
5.
the council's cost-saving claims were entirely fabricated. Does the Prime Minister agree with me that when Reform talk about Doge, what they're actually talking about is cutting vital public services homes? And will he join me in urging Derbyshire County Council to think again?
Well, it is deeply concerning to hear about the closure of 8 Derbyshire care homes by the Reform-led Derbyshire Council. It will be hugely concerning to residents and to their families, while we're making £3.7 billion of extra funding available to councils to fund social care. And let me say to the member for Clacton, relaxing in the lounge, Christmas is a time for forgiveness. It's never too late to apologise to former classmates.
Timothy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Labour's tax rises mean lower growth and higher unemployment, and the reason for the tax rises is government spending. The Prime Minister personally promised the country to limit spending increases to £9.5 billion a year. So what mandate did he have in his first two budgets to increase annual spending 15 times faster by £146 billion?
Welcome again to everyone joining us from Kevin Morgan.
Because we inherited major challenges across the country. If only he had done something to solve these problems when he was working in Downing Street. He left a complete mess.
Dale Duncan-Jordan.
Mr. Speaker, over the past few weeks I've been contacted by a number of constituents who work in the health and care sector because they are concerned about the proposed changes to the rules surrounding indefinite leave to remain. These individuals came to this country to do a job we asked them to do.
20 years
and then
now.
we decided to change the rules halfway through the process. Does the Prime Minister agree that if we are to be a proud, rules-based nation, going back on our word to people who are contributing to our society and building lives here is not only just unfair, it's also profoundly un-British?
It certainly is.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we're replacing a failed settlement system with one that is fair.
You can't justify it, Keith. Don't even bother.
It is right to apply more stringent controls, and we're currently consulting on the right approach.
Keith.
I do recognise the huge contribution of those working in our NHS and will not change the rules for those who already have settled status.
Sir John Whittingdale.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
Jimmy Lai is 79 and is a British citizen. He has already been in prison in Hong Kong for 5 years, simply for being a journalist. If he receives a further sentence on the 12th of January, he is likely to die in prison. Will the Prime Minister make clear that his visit to Beijing can only go ahead if Jimmy Lai is released?
Prime Minister.
I thank him for raising this really important case, and as he knows, we continually raise this with our counterparts and will continue to do so. And I condemn the conviction. Obviously, we await the sentence.
We are back. I'll just skip it back. I think a few of you might have experienced a bit of buffering now. I think we're roughly here.
Turkey, I'm disappointed that he didn't want to be hugging each other as their independent school. 13,000 jobs, and we're delivering them as quickly as possible with Network Rail awarding design contracts this week. Mr. Speaker, we're also freezing rail fares. That's... Well, it is deeply concerning to hear about the closure of 8 Derbyshire care homes.
Leave to remain. These...
Sorry.
I do recognise the huge...
Here.
And I condemn the conviction. Obviously, we await the sentence, but it's absolutely clear that he's been targeted by the authorities, and this is wrongful, and I call it out. It is important that we continue to engage so that we can raise this issue with those counterparts.
Sam Calling.
In September, a National Secular Society report
I can't argue with that. Wake up and smell the rosemaries.
In the UK from various faith traditions, expressing hideous views about women, including promoting female genital mutilation and denying the existence of marital rape. Many of these are registered as charities and therefore eligible for various tax exemptions, as well as thousands or even millions of pounds in public money through gift aid. So will the Prime Minister, as part of the government's mission to halve violence against women and girls, support my campaign for a review of charity law and regulations?
Again, very bad acting
here. The UK
here.
taxpayer isn't funding extremism and hate.
Minister.
Can I thank him for raising this really important issue?
You can't just say
violence and abuse suffered
we'll
by women
half
and
this
girls
and
is
slash this
a
by
national
that %.
emergency, and the Violence Against Women and Girls strategy will be published tomorrow, setting out concrete steps in order to deal with this. We've already taken action to protect victims, including placing domestic abuse specialists in the first 5999
I don't have any confidence in them
and we're
taking
launching
effective
a new
action.
National Policing Centre to coordinate police response and target these crimes. I'll make sure that ministers look specifically at the issues that he's raised.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, the Minister of State for Justice declined a meeting with the representatives of a number of hunger strikers in prison at the present time. These are all remand prisoners. They're not convicted of anything. Since then, a further prisoner, Kazam, has been taken to hospital, as have others. many people are very concerned about the regular breaches of prison conditions and prison rules in respect to these hunger strikers. Will he make
we're going to talk
for
more
the
about
Ministry of Justice
this after
to
PMQs
meet
as well.
representatives of the hunger strikers to discuss these breaches of the conditions
utterly
that
appalling
they're
in this
experiencing
case.
at the present time? Prime Minister.
Well, he will appreciate there are rules and procedures in place in relation to hunger strikes, and we're following those rules and procedures.
Abdissam Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. England is the only country.
Sir Julian Smith.
Minister of State for Justice.
That question.
Put public interest first. Many across the country.
Just
going to hospital, as have others.
Bit of buffering there.
Prime Minister.
Well, he will appreciate there are rules and procedures in
Sorry for anybody who missed that. I'm going to replay the question.
Hunger strikes, and we're following those rules and procedures.
Abdissam Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. England is the only country in the world with a fully privatised
Apologies
and
about the
monopolised
buffering.
water system, and it's broken. My constituents in Sheffield Central, like many across the country, continue to face burst water pipes, polluted rivers and rising bills, all while the Chief Executive of Yorkshire Water has taken 1.3 million in bonus payments through an offshore company, and that's on top of her very healthy £660,000 salary. Will the Prime Minister assure the House that the forthcoming water white paper will have stronger accountability and put public interest first before bosses' bonuses?
Yeah,
and
the
more
salaries and the
importantly, will it
bonuses
consider bringing the essential public service
exorbitantly
back into the
ridiculous.
House?
Just pure greed. Again,
Yes, is the simple answer to that
shouldn't be any
question.
profit on providing people with water.
And our
Should be
decisions are already holding
as good as
polluters
free.
to account. Mr. Speaker,
If
new
not
severe
free.
fines, banning bonuses, and a record 83
falls
criminal
out of the
investigations
sky.
have been launched. We've also secured over £100 billion of investment to upgrade infrastructure to deliver better services to constituents.
Final question, David Mundell.
Last question. Don't think there's going to be four mentions of planning
at
here.
Arlington Cemetery, I will have the honour
You never
of
know.
joining family and friends of many of the victims of the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie on the 21st of December
was like
1988,
1988,
the
yeah,
worst
I think.
terrorist
There was
atrocity in the United Kingdom.
A
Does the
drama
Prime
about
Minister
it
agree
quite
with
recently.
me that especially after all these years, those family and friends deserve both truth and justice? And will the United Kingdom government continue to do all it can to bring about that outcome?
Prime Minister.
Can I thank him for raising
A TV
this?
drama,
Nobody,
that is, not a
could
political
forget the
drama.
shocking scenes
Just to be clear.
at Lockerbie. And
This
I
is
know the huge impact it's had on the community that he grew up in, where people have responded with such compassion.
I wasn't
and
expecting
strength.
this for a question.
He has rightly stood by their search for justice and truth for all of the intervening years, and I pay tribute to that. All of our thoughts remain with the families and friends of all the victims who deserve truth, and I urge the Scottish authorities to consider the points that he raises.
We'll let the front benches change over.
Okay, 5-0. There you go, people. A soaring victory for league debutantes. Security, 5-0. And despite winning last week, for the first time, Plan is now out of the game, so will be replaced next time around. How's about that, people? Just back to here. What did you make of that session? I think that, if anything, only increased my frustration that I've had throughout the week. Like I said, this hyperbole, the response, the gerbilise, the enchilada, whichever variants you want to put on it. Keep your suggestions coming in the chat. So that was Keith's catchphrases. Let's see how that will affect the table. I've not made the proper adjustments, but we'll just look at the top half, because that will mean, I believe, with 5 mentions, that not only will security have beaten Plan, but supplanted it for 3rd place in the league. So I'll make the proper adjustments before the next round of Keith's catchphrases, which could be some way away, as we do now actually go into the Christmas break, not last week as was mistakenly thought. So it's getting quite challenging, quite tight there up at the top of the table. And we'll see Keith and his catchphrases again in 2026. That's it for 25.
We now come to Prime Minister's questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Deliver. Black hole plan for change. 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 Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chat. The chat's back, and it should be okay. It's a bit in and out with the buffering there. Sorry again, everybody. Experiencing a moment or two of that.
Oh, God.
Okay, like I said, I've got a video here. I played something that Zara Sultana put out yesterday at HMP Bronzefield, which is where one of the hunger strikers is currently incarcerated, but was transferred eventually to a hospital after many hours of waiting and a campaign from Zara Sultana, who essentially contributed towards saving the hunger striker's life. It was getting that serious, from what we know. But there was a bit more of a fracas, a bit of a melee with the police as well. So we're going to take a look at this clip. Parts of it are might be a bit too strong for anyone of a sensitive disposition, just to pre-warn you slightly. Not in a gory sense, but you'll see what I mean when I play the clip, I guess, but just trying to pre-warn you there. So I wasn't aware of this yesterday, which is when this incident would have taken place. I don't know if any of you good people in chat might have been there, but do let me know. Not if you were down there, but if you're familiar with what went on, because it's quite difficult to get the context just from this clip alone. I'll try and give you more details, but I haven't really had time to do a bit of background research. But the start of the clip includes one man in particular who, and I'm not certain, appears to be on at least one crutch, or maybe possibly a pair of crutches, but I guess not, because he does have his arm up. You'll see in a moment. But he does apparently knock an officer over, but then as it gets further into the clip, he appears to get struck by a police officer, and then it sort of kicks off. I'll just upload this here for you. Just have to reposition it one moment.
Look at it!
The clip in question is coming from The Canary, which I know a lot of you will be familiar with already, but if not, do check them out. Just make sure I can hear this as well. Bit of a scuffle. Turn that down a moment. It is quite loud. do remember when I heard it earlier, it being particularly loud. I should deal with that. 1 second. From the start anyway, or I will when it appears to be back on. Just gonna play this again from the start. Bit more buffering there. Apologies, people. It's been one of those streams, but yeah. Again, just remind you, there's very strong language in the clip as well.
This, look at it! Look at this! What should have been to me? Stop it! Look at what you lot are doing! Look at what you are doing! Look at what you are doing! Look at what you are doing! Oi! What are you fucking doing? Don't touch him! You racist, fascist cunts! Don't touch him! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Yeah, I'm not going to do a sort of pausey analysis for that one. You can feel free to rewind that and play it back at your own will. Please do let me know what you think about it, though. Things getting pretty heavy-handed at one point there outside HMP Bronzefield there, and of course it's strongly suggested or alleged that the police instigated this by getting particularly heavy-handed with some members of the public. But I'd like to know your thoughts and assessments from that clip. I'm not sure if the Canary have other content on the matter, but do go and check that out. That only came to my attention earlier on today, to be honest. Let's see what you're saying in the chat, people. Starmer's Gestapo, says JK. British police state. Yeah. Says wake up and smell the rosemaries. 18 months no trial, mid doctors. First they came for, ringing in our ears, or should be. Yeah, quite correct there. Comrie. And then there was no one left to speak out for me. Well said. Keep your thoughts coming in the chat, please, people.
Socialists. Oh my God.
Well, goodness, it's got past midnight already. One thing I will say, just very quickly, back to the hunger strike itself. Not sure about the current condition, of course, of Kessa, who was waiting for the ambulance for a large amount of time. But again, some of the trolling for this on social media that I've come across has been particularly bad. Do you ever accidentally, let's say, instead of on the feed for people who you follow, without you realising you're on the feed for, you know, the suggestions feed, as it were, and the algorithm knowing that you're into politics and obviously certain platforms being owned by certain people, it certainly seems to lean to the right, unfortunately, when you're on the For You feed. And on such an occasion, I came across quite a few disgusting far-right trolls, including people who just simply don't get the concept of protest itself or standing up for other people's rights. Everything from bringing geography into this, you know, why are you in Surrey? You represent Coventry South. I don't think that's valid. You can be an MP and obviously support a cause that's external to your constituency. MPs do it all of the time. That's pretty desperate. But then, going further, the implication that ambulances were held up because of the hunger striker is ridiculous, because of course it's the other way around, and Kessa was waiting a long time because of perhaps other emergencies. The NHS is of course understaffed, and I'm sure that they won't be blaming elderly people or the sick, as some of these trolls were in social media. But my final point, quite a lot of them also said that sending the ambulance is a waste of taxpayers' money, to which I'd probably suggest if you don't want taxpayers' money being wasted, then don't prescribe non-violent protesters in the first place, because I'm certain that the cost of their incarceration is greater than that of a single ambulance visit to the nearest hospital on the National Health Service. And that's where I'll leave that topic, I guess, for this evening. Thoughts, please, in chat. Okay. Anyone who wasn't with us from the start on the chat, there was a bit of a glitch with the members scroll earlier, which seems to have persisted. But apologies. I'll make sure that's taken care of before the next stream. So I'll get set up for a raid. It could be one across the pond into the United States at this time. Do stay put, please, everybody. Even for lack of a members stream, I'll get the stall out briefly. Just to remind everybody, there's still time to support the channel with super chats, super thanks if you're watching back later on, and there's a buy me a coffee page in the description of this stream and any other content on the channel, which we would appreciate you sharing on your social media. Thank you very much, everybody, for all of your support. I just once again, back to the buy me a coffee page for those who bought coffees this week. Solidari-Tea or Solidari Coffee. We have a choice between this space or the Surf Times, and I believe out of those two we've most recently raided into this space, which does run at various times throughout the day, I believe, with multiple hosts. Do you have any preference, is what I'm getting at, people. Let your thoughts be heard now in the brief time that you have before I bring the stream to a close. I guess I will just remind everybody I'll be back on Sunday with the Sunday live stream. Please do join me for that if you can. Hit the notification button so you're up to date with all of the content on the channel. Dealer's choice. Okay, I guess we'll go Surf Times for balance, as we more recently went into this space. Right, that's all set up, good to go. Thank you very much for all your contributions in the chat. Thank you very much again to Kevin Logan. Go and subscribe if you don't already. Thanks for being here on the Brews at 10. I've been your humble host, Lefty. You've all been amazing. Solidarity, power to the people, free Palestine, Yemen, Sudan, etc. Yeah, and my left, I'll be seeing you soon. Good night. gerbilise the enchilada.